We are happy because we have a possibility to, for the third time, have actually guests from Balkan, women filmmakers, that we screen their movies at the Balkan Documentary and Short Film Festival 2017. We were at the Kungsängen Kulturcentrum, and then we are now at the BaNeFF Stockholm, and tomorrow we'll be at the Zita. Possibility and opportunity to see a woman filmmaker and to see movies from the Balkan is not so often, and somehow we will represent some of the winners and part of this project Snowy Women in Film Creative Networking. We will continue with this even in the future, and we will come with more news. We tried to have you last year, but it was something like...
Yeah, I was sick. 2015 I was sick, yeah.
Okay. Good. What do you think about the movie? Some questions or something?
Very funny.
Quite rich.
Okay, why you did this movie?
Well, it's a long story because before this movie I had 2 short films with the same car named Zastava 101 or Stojadin.
Okay.
So this is the third movie with this car. And when I was at the faculty, I had a dream to do like a feature called Zastava 101 with like something like omnibus, but it's not omnibus, but they're connected.
Different stories.
Then it's not omnibus. The 3 of the films are totally connected because all the characters are the same.
Yeah.
So we had like a dream to do a feature, but after a couple of years we like gave up this idea because it was too expensive. Because I know that you maybe couldn't believe, but this movie was extra expensive because half of the film was shot on Super 8 movie, and the location was Rijeka, so all the crew had to go to Rijeka. And Rijeka is like a fancy part of Croatia, and the hotels are very expensive there. So I know it doesn't look like, but it was very expensive movie to shoot. And I wanted always to do like a love story film, because all of my films are, but with shorts, because all of my films were before dramas, hard dramas, something like that. So
it was time for something easy.
And I like retro themes. So in this film I combine retro themes and present time. And that was it. I just wanted to show, and this song from Dragan Stojnić inspired me for the whole film. So this song was my inspiration.
It was like following the story.
Yeah, it was my inspiration because I heard it a long time ago, and immediately when I heard the song, I had the whole script in my head. So I wanted to do it. I wrote the script 2009. I wrote it, so we shot it later, and that was it. I always wanted to do like immortal love film. So I think this is like immortal love couple.
But there's also a lot of nostalgia toward Yugoslavia. Is it something that you would like to come out? Or?
Yes, it can be in the script because a lot of details are shown in the film, like the guy and the people from the hospital are listening to some kind of football match, national competition, international competition, World Cup. I think it was World Cup in 60 something. So we had that, and a lot of old comics, old LPs and stuff like that, old car, and a lot of retro vintage stuff in it. So
yeah, I like this production design, as it's called right now.
Thank you. I was set designer of that film.
Okay, good. We actually plan to have awards after next movie, which is also quite tough because we mix a little bit easy stuff with heavy stuff. But we decide to take awards now, since we have jury present, all of them. We saw them, actually all of them. No, yes.
No.
Thank you.
If you don't have questions, okay.
I just want one question.
Okay.
I really appreciated the Unwanted Heritage, and it was documentary.
Oh, thank you. It was last year's winner.
Yes. Yeah, and I was in jury.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know. I didn't recognize. I remember the names. Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, that one is from the 230
Both. I like both. So I think my next project will be feature, definitely. So I like combining. But I like documentaristic approach in feature film. So like Romanian style and stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you. Irene, is it your first time in Sweden, in Stockholm?
I'm first time here in Sweden and also in Stockholm. It's very cold, but it's very exciting. And I am very happy to got this award for my film I Love You. It's a short fiction movie, a love story. It's filmed in Rijeka. It's a mix of past and present. It's a very retro vintage movie. So I'm very happy to got this award for woman presence in the movie, in the film. So this film has been to a lot of film festivals, and this autumn it has been in Switzerland, and it got awards for directing. So I'm very lucky that this award queue is coming on. So
it's interesting. I mean, jury like it. What do you think? Do they feel this nostalgia among the Yugoslavia, or they like the design, or what do you think? How sweet actually? What was that that makes that movie
I think
winning?
What it makes this film winning is a universal theme, because the film is without dialogues. So I think this is like an extra plus for the film, so everybody could connect with it. So it's not matter if you are like in Austria, Germany, France, Japan, China, or Sweden, Croatia. So you can connect with the movie because the theme is so universal.
Yeah. And you, what are you doing now?
I'm preparing my new feature. So I'm doing like something like development of the screenplay of the project. So, and also I'm doing my new animation film. It will be my first animation film. So I'm very curious about animation right now. It's called Little Orchestra for Big Music.
And your second movie that actually won also this festival was Unwanted Heritage, which is interesting. You are again in some kind of Yugoslavia context. Is it something that you would like to show?
Well, I like presenting retro themes of ex-Yugoslavia, the things that are disappearing. So that are probably like cars, Super 8 movies, some kind of props, scenography, feelings, monuments. So I like to film the things that are disappearing right now. I also did 10 years ago one film about trams. So I like doing retro and vintage stuff.
Okay, thank you. We hope that we will see you soon in Stockholm with the one or fiction movie as director.
Thank you.
Thank you. Olgica Lindqvist as the one who is with us, last 3 times. And also Nils Larsson, which is also with us. And Rod, what's the
Marrero Palle.
Marrero Palle, as you say. Would you like to come in front? Because it sounds very...
Maybe, but we have a computer. I can say just that there was a long discussion, and we have had our priorities, and maybe some of the films we chose, we shouldn't if the festival choose to give them a prize. So, do you understand me? If not, just to explain, there is a jury's prizes and the festival prizes. So if you don't hear your name, maybe you will after that. So that's all. We put it in English just, but if you want to have a translation in Serbo-Croatian or Swedish, we can do that. But or you can do yourself. Do you need from the institute in Swedish? No. English is okay. Perfect. So, Nils.
Okay, first prize goes to Applause for Lazics. Was it the right pronunciation? No. Applause for Lazics.
Aplausi za Lazić.
Okay. By Marko Markovic. From 2017 in Serbia. A short fiction about solidarity and friendship in a situation where it's difficult being young, facing an older generation that seems to live a totally different life, a film that gives the viewer an understanding of the situation for young people in Serbia. That was the first film. And the second is I Love You by Irena Skoric. Memory is everything. Sorry. Memory is everything. A mix of family films and reenacted moments of holidays, love and daily life. The local story of Rijeka is unfolded. The result is a poetic film. Thank you.
I must add that we didn't prepare yet our diplomas. They always have it a little bit afterward. But Irena, you have one diploma from Pedest, which I didn't yet give you yet.
We lost you.
And one for snowy participation. You know, these two of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you? Okay, sorry. And remember, we can actually make movie.
Let's make a movie.
We can make movies
Yeah.
then.
Okay.
And then the last prize to fiction film goes to Ambi by Maria Apresveska, 2007 from Macedonia. Big drama in a small scale involving life and death, describing the situation for a brother and a sister taking care of a drunken father.
Okay. Anna, may I ask you to come out?
Oh, it's the director.
No, it's not directed. It's a friend from Macedonia.
Okay.
It's not me. It's
No?
not me, but
Thank you.
I'm very glad.
You got the snowy for participation. Please stay close to. Yeah, it's your one.
And then the documentary prizes. I think that the jury was with the priority to trying to understand what young people are thinking about in the Balkans. So the first prize is The Most Important Boy in the World by Tia Lukash.
Well, we have pleasure to have one guest from Macedonia. Even if we collaborate quite a lot with Macedonia, with us is Anna Jakimska from Skopje. Welcome. Are you first time in Sweden?
Thank you. I have been only in Malmö, but this is the first time that I come to Stockholm, to the capital, and it's a beautiful city. I'm very glad to be here.
You're part of the project which is Snowy, Women in Film Creative Networking. And what do you think about women presence in the movie and women collaboration?
Especially in the Balkans, where we come from, I think that the presence of women in film is something that needs a lot of work still. Unfortunately, women do not get encouraged to take a role in film or to pursue a degree in filmmaking. It's always considered like a job for men. But things are beginning to change now, and I think that we need to be open to collaboration between each other and with both men and women, but especially women, to stick together a bit so that we can fight for the place that we deserve.
Mm-hmm. You are doing now on your next script, because we have some kind of a script development. What is your story about, just briefly?
Briefly, the new script that I'm working on is a feature film, which will be my debut feature, the first feature film that I do as a director. And the story is about three women coming from three different Balkan cities, from Belgrade, Skopje and Thessaloniki, and they're all dealing with a different side of the patriarchy.
Okay, women problem again. Okay, do you think that movie need this story today?
I hope that it will be a story that will resonate with the audience and that will be entertaining, at least, to watch.
And situation for the movie making in Macedonia, especially if you are a woman, is different, better? How it sounds?
Generally, in Macedonia, it's not that easy to make a movie, because we are a very young cinematography. And we are now just starting to see how this all works in the world. And I think that there is not this problem of gender inequality, but it's more of young cinematography that is growing and that needs to catch up.
No. We hope to see you next project here on the Balkan Film Festival
It would
in
be
Stockholm.
a pleasure. It would be a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Using subtle camera movements and engaged dialogue with the by Bieber's open doors to the secret rooms of desire and ambition.
Okay. Good.
And then comes Love is All That Matters by Svetlana Chemin, an inner documentary travel in the labyrinth of love and desire in the spirit of Dusan Makayeyev.
Dusan Makayeyev.
Okay.
It's a movie from USA.
Yeah.
And
Then finally is a kind of special prize to The Guardians by Milan Skoric, 2016 Montenegro. A documentary about the role of religion and holy symbol that gives a near to anthropological insight in a local history not to be forgotten.
Yeah. So he's not with us, but I think that he will be very glad. And that's what we somehow as a festival keep as our also possibility, is to add some project that we think really means a lot to this festival in a somehow spirit of the festival. And I'm very grateful for the jury, but festival think that these movies that I will pronounce now are supporting the spirit of Balkan Film Festival. And our first prize goes to the fiction, short film, Heaven Has Been Falled by Odetta Tsunay, please. Odetta. As I said, our final diplomas are not yet finished, but you will get one for a snowy participation. Yes. Congratulations.
And not just
Good.
to tell about directing, it's acting which was excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both.
Really.
It's a very woman presence on the movie. It's exemplified in your movie. Odetta Tsunay, first time in Sweden, how it feels to come to the Stockholm?
I think it was very nice experience because we was with Snow and it was very good because we had this script development for our work, so it was not just to see the Sweden and the beauty of the city, but even to work and to develop much more our script, and with the festival was nice, I think, yes.
You won the prize as best or festival best film in a short category. What is your story about, actually?
I have a story of a couple, and I talk for this kind of part that I think all the people, they just avoid to talk about this kind of subtle, and I try to develop this. Okay, can I say it again?
Mm-hmm.
Stop, cut. What I say? Okay. What I want to talk about my story is about the things that we don't understand to the other. You know, this inability to enter to the head of the other and to really understand what he really thinks, and how much we miss from the development, like people and like couple with each other, how much we say and we don't say, and this movie is about this more or less. Yeah.
Some kind of silence,
Yes,
and talk in between couples and things like that. Okay, it's one not love story, but it's also love story somewhere, because the emotions between these two new people appear. What are you interested in your next project?
My next project is about the relation of mother and the son. For the first time I skip completely because I made 3 movies that was all about a couple, but I want to make mother and son, and again I get to the question how much we know each other and how much we know the mother, that is the one who grow up and give her own value, and suddenly maybe she's not the one that we believe. So this is, but will come later.
Okay, but in this short movie you are acting too. Are you actors too, or you just take it as it was?
Yeah, I'm not an actor, but I just did it because my actor, I don't know, she couldn't do it the last moment, and I just took her part, so I did it.
Okay, and you are now, you're from Albania. How many of Albanian nature, relations, how can I say, society lives in your movies?
I don't
Tradition
know.
and everything.
Yeah, I think that is what I wanted to take from Albania. I want to take this kind of normal life of Albanian people. You know, I want to, because in general, all the movies that come from Albania is this social something or poverty or kind of big drama. But I want to take this kind of universality, normal life, and even a normal neighborhood of this. I don't know. I wanted to take the light of the city, the beauty part of the city, and I think not the beauty, the concept of the beauty, but the spirit in a way, you know, that is a contemporary spirit. Let's say.
And what about film in Albania? Is it flourishing, or how do you feel as a filmmaker, especially woman filmmaker?
But I think in Albania it's a bit difficult because we don't have too much funding, and we don't have really women that choose film, and we don't have women that take films. You know, we're just in the short category, short films. But the feature one is kind of unexistent. The woman in Albania, yeah. Maybe producer one, but not more than this.
Okay, we are glad to have you here actually, and hope to see soon your next movie.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Movies, which is documentary, which we also think the first is True Must Come Out, and it's about silent screen from the guest of the movie that we actually saw. Please come. Njemi Krik je dobio nagradu. Sve čestitke. Izvolite Božice isto na scenu. Ovo je nagrada za Božicu, iako nije bila deo Snowbija, za hrabrost da je izašla i rekla tu.
Imam jedan poklon za vas. Ovo je znak mog udruženja. Ovo je znak mog udruženja i ja vam to od srca poklanjam da nas se sjedite.
O, hvala.
Evo, ovo je vjetarna lista koja u našem kraju donosi sreću i da Bog da sretni i zdravi bili uvijek.
Hvala mnogo.
Hvala.
Thank you so much. Please.
Hvala.
And one which we think also make women very in strange position when one war appears. It's a film of Milana Mayer, At the Edge of Insanity, na rubu pameti. Just a second to find out. Yes, here it is. Milana, congratulations. Please. Milana Mayer, film director from Republika Srpska. Is it the first time you are in Sweden?
Yes, I am first time in Sweden and I enjoyed it.
Okay. Your movie, it's actually woman presence in film, but not any film. It's war, actually, theme. And how did you find this subject as your theme for your movie?
I work at Radio Television Republic of Srpska in Republic of Srpska in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I work in foreign news program, and I cover daily news in my TV. Because of that, it was not hard for me to find theme to make it film. And my protagonists are my friends from Syria. I lived there during the war in the Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I saw it is a good idea to make a connection between war in Bosnia and Herzegovina and war in Syria, because I live in Bosnia, it's my homeland, and I lived in Syria. It is also my second homeland. And I chose this story because Syria in these days is a very, very important for all the world, and my mission was to show something of the truth from the war in Syria.
I mean, the war questions in the documentary are not easy, and you catch it from some woman perspective. How do you feel about that?
At the beginning, I felt very, very sad, and during filming my story, I was so upset because I know my country was in the same position during the war, and Syria is the same, and I am a very emotive person, and making this film was a very big, how to say, decision in my life, because I didn't sleep a lot of nights because I always was thinking about bad things, about terrorism, about this family. They are my friends, and I try to make this film in the best way I can do it, and my emotional put another side. And I hope I did all my best to complete this story in a better way.
What is your next project?
My next project is, I hope so, it is only idea now. I think make the story, documentary story about Aramaic people in Aramaic language. Aramaic people from two different countries. One of them is Turkey and Syria, of course, because I speak Arabic and it is easy for me, not English. English is my third language, and sometimes it is so hard for me to express my feelings. I will make a connection between people, Aramaic people in Turkey and Aramaic people in Syria. And my dream was to make film in Aramaic language. So let me see what will happen.
I mean, when we are talking about Syria, we are often talking about Muslims that are fighting among each other, but we have also Christians that actually suffering probably more than any of them up to. How do you feel about Christians in this Syrian conflict?
I chose Christian family because I am Christian, and my people, Christian people in Bosnia, Serbs, was suffering a lot during the war in Bosnia, and of course I am always with my people in Bosnia. Because of that, I chose make a film about Christian from Middle East. I think that we have a lot of in common, a lot of things in common, Serbian people and Christian from Middle East. During the history, we suffered a lot of, and it was my choice. I don't know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can. It's okay. Good. And then we have one more participant. Just we must also say hello to. It's Maja Todorovic. Maja, please. You have actually two diplomas. One is from a Parast for your contribution as a jury member, and one is as a participant on the Snowy. And I hope so that for the next BaNeFF we will have movies with your sign as a screenwriter. Thank you. Yeah. With us is Maja Todorovic, screenwriter from Montenegro, Serbia, and actually all Balkan countries you are collaborating with. You are first time in Stockholm, in Sweden?
Yes, it is, and I must say that I've heard a lot about, the things that people are talking all over, that this is the place where you should live in 21st century, and I can say that I completely understand it. My only problem is the cold, because I'm so Mediterranean, but still it's wonderful.
Okay, we have a possibility to meet a woman filmmaker from Balkans, and you are one of them during the project Snowy. What do you think about the idea to make some kind of collaboration among women filmmakers?
Well, I think it's a really important thing because we already talk a lot about it, and being a woman in film sometimes is not the same as being the man. It's not easy to any filmmaker, especially in our countries where there is so low budget for cultural, not just for the movies. And women are some kind of way even on a lower level, because we have to show that this is a kind of field where women can work. And I feel in Serbia that thing start to change right now. We have more and more script writers, directors, and most producers who are women and very successful. So I'm really happy, and I hope these kind of collaborations are just going to make it huge and more better than it was before.
Mm-hmm. And you're working on your. It's not the first fiction. You are working a lot of, because you're a screenwriter. What is it? What are you doing now?
Right now, I'm collaborating with director Dejan Zečević on a feature fiction movie, and I have that's in Serbia, in Montenegro. I'm working with director Milija Stjepanović. It's also a feature movie, and I work a lot for theater.
Is it a lot of job for a woman screenwriter?
Well, yes, but I'm managing it. I mean, I love my job, and that's the only thing I want to do in my life, and I don't care where I live until I can do what I like and what I am educated for.
Good. We are waiting then for you and your project.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have, as jury member in this Balkania Film Festival documentary and short movie edition 2017, even as jury, Rod Marrero Paller, filmmaker from South America, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm born in Sweden, but my parents are from Uruguay.
Yes. Your name is actually telling more than more than the words. Yes, you're the first time jury member for some Balkan Films Festival.
Yes, it's the first time.
Yeah, and what do you think about these movies?
Very impressed, it hit me hard in my heart, because a lot of the stories we heard about, but we didn't know in detail. Maybe some documentaries were very strong to see and watch, but it's good to know and to understand that. I mean that some people can gather the strength to do a movie about what happened to them, for example. And I'm thinking about the documentaries about the women, the victims in the war and everything. It's very hard. Also, the documentaries from Syria it really hit me in the heart, because I've been working with youth and people that came from that area during the wars 2 years ago, and to see the other side, not only to receive them, to just see the other side was very strong. Then also I must say there's great actors when it comes to the movies, directors. I mean, the storytelling is very, very good. The locations you have is very, very special. I mean, it's like looking into a fantasy sometimes.
Okay.
So I'm very pleased to be here.
Have you been sometime in the Balkans?
No, not in this lifetime. No, but I know many people from there. So yeah, but I've never been there.
You catch the spirit somehow.
I love to go there, yes.
What do you think that Sweden needs this movie a little more? Because I feel or at least is this the stories that we reach here from Balkan, are they like monotone or like just war stories, media covering and things, or we have possibility to see more interesting drama, dialogues, conflicts, which actually could be screened here more?
I think so too. Yes, I think that they are sort of cleaning up with their feelings. So the movies that will come out in the beginning will tell the story of what happened to them. But later on in the journey, I think it will maybe become other stories, maybe more fictional or something. But I think that it's the people wants to take care of what happened to them first, so they can leave that behind in some way, I think. But like I said to you before, I love Black Cat and White Cat. I don't know what's...
Kusturica.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying all movies should be like that, but I like that it was good nature, it was good actors, it was a good screen, it was directors very good. I mean, you have a lot of quality. I can see that in just these short movies, that it's a lot of quality, I believe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.